1:15 and I'm just getting out of bed. But it's Saturday. We get an excuse. It's also like a pandemic. Can't even go outside. Who cares if I get up early? So for today, we're going to be making some animal style fries and some cauliflower wings, bites, whatever you want to call them. Don't argue with me, I don't care. First off, I'm going to just start by chopping up everything that needs to be chopped. A really good hack for this would just to be frozen french fries and use those instead. You don't have to be in and out, girl. It's alright to be lazy. Took the top or bottom off of some broccoli, and then I started to break it apart and cut it into little niblet sized pieces. As you can see there, however much you cut off is the size that your nugget is gonna be. Did I just admit that boneless wings are nuggets? No! Then I'm gonna go ahead and cut some onion and some garlic. I'm going to divide it though, because part of these onions are going to be used to caramelize for our animal fries, and then the other part is going to be used in our Korean wing sauce. The recipe will be in the description box below, but just for this batter, I'm adding some flour to a bowl. Then I went ahead and seasoned it with some vegan, not chicken powder, some paprika, onion powder, garlic powder, cumin, pepper, and salt. To finish off our mix, we're adding a 1/4 cup of unsweetened almond milk and a 1/4 cup of water to it. I do adjust the amount of water that I put in depending on how my mixture is looking that day, but you want your mix to be thick enough to hold on to the cauliflower without dripping off as soon as you dip. After adding those liquids, I just mixed with a fork to make sure that everything is combined. I was also adding water at this point if it needed it, but again, you don't want your batter too runny because then it'll just fall off the cauliflower. Then I focus on making just the animal fries, and for our sauce we're gonna add in some vegan mayonnaise, some ketchup, mustard, relish, apple cider vinegar, sugar, and salt. Those onions that we chopped up earlier are now on the stove with some oil and a little bit of sugar on medium heat just to get nice and caramelized. And while those are cooking down, I'm also starting to pat dry the potatoes. And then I played myself and put some in a plastic bag. Like, I'm gonna freeze these for a later date. No, first of all, some of them didn't even make it into the freezer. You can see me taking some out the bag, off rip. And then the rest of them I just ate the next day. Like, why play yourself? The potatoes that are about to go into the air fryer just got a drizzle of olive oil, some salt, and some pepper. I wanted to keep it simple because the sauce that we made, that already got everything in the fridge. You don't need to do too much. You don't have to do too much with this, okay? You just made your sauce that's about to go crazy on top. I wanted my fries and my little niblet bite, whatever you want to call them, to go in and be done around the same time. So I went ahead and started to dip my cauliflower into the batter and then into some panko breadcrumbs. I really do like it with the breadcrumbs. It gives us that extra, actual crunchy. Later on in the video, I'll show you what it looks like without the breadcrumbs on there and with the breadcrumbs on there. But I feel like those really add a little pizzazz. Make my Korean wing sauce. To that onion and garlic that we had earlier, I'm adding some Gochujang, which is Korean red pepper paste, and I'm following that up with some ketchup. I don't usually measure this part. We're walking by taste, not by sight, okay? Walk by taste, not by sight. I also put this in the microwave because the Gochujang was in the fridge and it's kind of hard to stir. Now that it's a little bit warmed up and easier to stir, I added in some agave and sesame oil. Again, we're walking by taste, not by sight, okay? Walk by taste, not by sight. So after I mix this up, I taste it again to see what it needs. And depending on how I'm feeling, I might want it a little more tart that day. I gotta add some vinegar, some more oil. Might want a little spicier, add some more of that red pepper paste. Just do what you're in the mood for, you know? The halfway point of the little nug, so I'm gonna give them a shake before putting them back in. Then we're gonna move on to this cheese. Lord, this cheese. Okay, this was my first time using plant-based cheese. Usually I just wouldn't eat it, but I was like, you know what, I saw someone do this, I could do it too. First of all, it tastes like butter for some reason. I don't know, it just reminded me of butter. A good hack for this cheese, what will really help you out with this, is to just buy normal sliced freaking cheese. Why did I try to melt the cheese? I don't know. Real In-N-Out cheese ain't even melted like this. Come on, Kennedy. So I started to add almond milk and then the jalapeno juice that comes into a can of jalapenos, because I'm like, I want this to be creamy and I want this to be tart. So I was mixing with my fork, but that wasn't really getting the job done. So I went ahead and grabbed that immersion blender, and I think that really helped a lot. It looks like somewhat cheesy, you know. Yeah, just get the sliced cheese, though, y'all. Just get the sliced cheese. Now we start the assembly. As you can see, I have a bowl right here, but I wised up. So in this jump shot, it's gonna be a plate, and that's perfectly okay. After I get them all on the plate, I add that cheese. Y'all, that cheese. Still conflicted. After the cheese goes the onions and the sauce. You can caramelize your onions more. I don't know if I'm that chefy yet. Then I go ahead and put the sauce all on top. That looks so good, y'all. I want it again right now, just watching it. And there's your animal fries. Bro. Now that our wings are done, we're gonna toss them in the sauce. That was the breaded chicken wing, and this was the one without bread. And I don't know why I was moving so fast. Like, look like I was about to throw that thing. Hit the road with it. Then I just added 3 wings, whatever you want to call them, to each bowl, just to have a little 6-piece meal, you know. In the blue bowl, I have some melted plant-based butter. That's gonna be the base for our lemon pepper wings. I worked at a pizza place, and this is how we made our lemon pepper wings. That's so fattening, y'all. But they was using like chicken, not cauliflower though. And there are your cauliflower pieces, wings, things. I don't care what you want to call them, but look at that. So freaking good.